Well, hello. I didn't see you come in. I'm Bob. Today we're going to be discussing the female demographic in video games. Just sit back, relax. I'm going to take off this jacket. We're going to blow out these candles. I'm going to turn up the lights because this whole thing is stupid. So I was going through some of our analytics here on the channel, and I noticed that around 95% of our audience is male. So then I had a very evil corporate moment. How do we appeal more to women so we have a larger audience with more diversity? Pretty much every game company, movie studio, and TV network ask themselves the same question, and they all deal with it in pretty terrible ways. Like, for example, in Metal Gear Solid 2, they added Pretty Boy Raiden to appeal to female gamers. He ended up being the most hated character in the game. Another tragic example is Pac-Man. Now, this was a popular mod, so I don't know if you could throw the blame for this on Namco, but it is a pretty bad representation of women. It's not enough to just throw in a female character or a good-looking dude. Mass Effect gave you the ability to play as FemShep or female shepherd, but only 18% of players actually did play as FemShep, and only 14% of players were female. I would chalk that up as poor marketing. People didn't know that you could change the gender of the main character. I refuse to believe that the new Tomb Raider draws female players just because the main character is a woman. The split between male and female players seems to be about 70-30, which is the average for core games. I'm assuming that that overall 70-30 split is only for console and PC games, excluding mobile games like Candy Crush and social games like Farmville. I've found a ton of articles that claim that there are more female gamers than male gamers, and this just is not true. The real split I found is just under 50%, hovering around 45 to 47% in the past few years. But I mean, 47% is still pretty good. Again, this is because a lot of women play mobile puzzle games or simulation games, but here on the Wolf Den, we don't care about that. I tried to find out what core games have a pretty decent ratio between male and female players, but what I kept coming up with were articles that were like, games for girls, and guess what those were? Bejeweled, The Sims, Cake Shop, Roller Coaster Tycoon. While those are all games that women play, those are not at all what I'm looking for. I'm looking for games like Final Fantasy. I feel like that appeals towards women because of the strong female representation and the RPG gameplay, but only 35% of players are female. So very slightly above average. It's clear to me that women aren't drawn to play a testosterone-fueled game like Call of Duty, and the data shows that. They are, however, driven to a game like World of Warcraft, because everybody is. So naturally, about 40% of WoW players are female. You could probably chalk that up to that everybody's represented the same, you can create your own character, and the combat is whimsical. Nothing can turn a woman off more than being forced to play in armor like this. Now, I'm not saying it's bad that that's in the game, I'm saying that it's bad that that's the only thing in the game. I found that 56% of Animal Crossing players are female, but I don't think that's much of a surprise. Let's be real here, that's a pretty girly game. 51% of Professor Layton players are female, probably because it's a puzzle game. 39% of Pokemon players are female. I'd like to think it's because of the turn-based combat. There might be some sort of correlation between women and anime games, or maybe women are more drawn towards Nintendo platforms. Nintendo claims that its Super Mario games are an even split between male and female gamers, which I have to assume is complete horse. Every company would love to say that its demo is an even split. Nothing is ever an even split. Hell, even Earth's population is 51% female. Nintendo's split could be close, but I don't know if it's exact. Most shocking to me is that 53% of Just Dance players are female. Wouldn't you think that would be higher? So what I've gathered from this, and this is by no means scientific, is that puzzle games, turn-based games, and to some extent RPGs appeal most to women. Not more to women than men, but they appeal more than the other types of games. It's not enough to just represent women in a politically correct way. You have to appeal to them. I think the best thing to do is to just ignore all of this and make a good game. How about that? I guess I should follow that advice and ignore all of this and just make a good video. But I already made this video. So you. A lot of the best information I found for this video I found in this Reddit thread, which I'll link to in the description. It's very unbiased, which we need more of these days. So what do you guys think about the female demographic, how they're represented in video games, how people try to appeal to them, what games they like the most? And of course, if you're a woman, I'd like to hear from you. Our 5% of female nerds, what are you playing? Leave it in the comments below. Add me on Twitter, all this other social media stuff. The easiest way to contact me is through Twitter. I'm wearing this shirt again, which you can get on our TeePublic store. And as always, the most important things that you can do to help this channel is subscribe and share this video with a friend. Thank you guys very much. Have a good week. Nintendo is profiting greatly off of their amiibos. Those are not games. They're game accessories. Which, by the way, nobody buys them as game accessories. People buy them because they look cool. But they don't seem to be acknowledging that. 64-bit is my least favorite console generation. Ooh. Because they didn't know what they were doing at that time with 3D. They didn't. And there's a lot of ugly games. Yeah. Hello. I didn't see you come in. That was a bigger chip than I expected.